Welcome to Insights into Insurance with Tom Sorensen of Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.
It's another Saturday morning. That means it's time to talk Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance here on 1450 KATE. Mike Whitus along with Tom Sorensen, and again we've invited in Freeborn County Sheriff Kurt Freitag, and with all of the shooting, Kurt, that has taken place, let's talk to kick things off here this morning on, all right, I want to get a permit to carry. What are the steps that need to be taken as an individual to get that permit to carry?
If someone wants to get a permit to carry, they have to first take a Bureau of Criminal Apprehension certified handgun safety course. And when they do that, they'll bring that certificate, the original, along with their driver's license, to the records section of the law enforcement center. And our personnel in the records section will make a copy of their certificate. They'll get the original back. And then we'll make a copy of their driver's license. And we'll give them an application for the permit to carry. It takes about 5 minutes to fill out. And there's a fee that needs to be paid with that application. And so once we collect those things, along with the application, we'll start processing it. And we'll take a look at any protection orders that have been served against that person. We'll take a look at definitely their criminal history. We'll print that off. And in the end, I will determine whether or not that person is eligible for a permit to carry. If they are, I've got 30 days to issue them their card, and our turnaround time's within a week or even less.
Do we see more and more now here in Freeborn County people wanting to get that permit to carry with all of the activity from Las Vegas to recently, of course, with the Florida shooting? Do you see a spike in people wanting to get a permit to carry?
I don't think we've seen a noticeable spike. I think the numbers have increased a little bit, but that's just, my guess. I haven't taken a look at the figures.
And those people that do, once they do get a permit to carry, obviously they have maybe some continuing education or classes. And then the other question I would have, Kurt, is that good for just 1 year, or do they have to come back every 2 years, or what is the length of once they do get that permit to carry? Is there, number one, is there a year stipulation? Number two, if something happens during that time, is that revoked, or kind of walk through that process?
Okay. The permit to carry is good for 5 years, and they have to renew every 5th year. And so the renewal is them taking another BCA certified handgun safety course. So if they do that and their background check comes out okay and everything comes out okay, I'll renew their license or their permit. Okay. If let's say they go through the renewal and during the last 5 years they, something came up, and let's say it's something along the lines of, making threats of violence, or, they had an onset of mental illness. With the permit to carry, statutorily, I can take a look at the behavior in question and determine whether or not that person poses a significant risk to the public if I issue them a permit to carry. And if my decision is yes, there would be a potential risk, I'm either not going to renew it, or if they're in the middle of their 5 years, I'll revoke their permit to carry.
And that could be involving maybe possibly a domestic abuse, a domestic assault, a phone call. I know in our last program we talked about if you hear something, you need to say something. Not only does that involve with a shooting case, but it also involves that person that has a permit to carry.
Right, or someone with a permit to purchase. Permit to purchase, that's free. We don't have a fee associated with that. It's good for 1 year, but a permit to purchase can be revoked also. It's a little harder because the permit to purchase is 100% statute driven. the person is either eligible or they're not eligible for that permit. Where a permit to carry, sheriffs have some latitude to take into account some of the behavior, statements, postings that someone has done that really raises the alarm bells and flags in a prudent person's mind. And so, like you said, Mike, it's very important for someone, if they see these types of behaviors that are kind of scary, alarming, let me know. Or, if the person has a permit to purchase and they live within the city of Albert Lea, that'll be Director Winkles' call. But in the end, we communicate together. And if somebody's behavior warrants having their permit to carry or a permit to purchase revoked, we'll do that.
So, Kurt, did I hear you right? So you basically make the decision, the final decision on somebody in the county, but Mr. Winkles would make the decision on somebody in Albert Lea? Is that what I heard? Partially
correct. If it is dealing with a permit to carry, I issue those throughout the county.
Oh, okay.
I issue those and I can revoke those. I also issue all the permits to purchase outside of Albert Lea. And anything within the city of Albert Lea for a permit to purchase, that would be Director Winkles.
Okay.
We're visiting with Freeborn County Sheriff Kurt Freitag on our Saturday morning of Insights into Insurance with Tom Sorensen, myself, Mike Whitus. We're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about the permit to purchase process with the Freeborn County Sheriff, and we'll do that when we come back here on Kate.
When it comes to crop insurance, there is one thing Americana Insurance won't do. We won't come out to your place and shovel manure for you. But we will offer annual information seminars to keep you informed and annual insurance reviews to make sure you're covered. We'll provide crop insurance quotes that are easy to understand and hail, fire for crop, replant, and green snap insurance. But again, we won't shovel manure. On the other hand, you probably already met too many people who will. Americana Insurance. We're the A-Team. AmericanaInsurance.com.
Welcome back to Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance. Tom Sorensen, Mike Whitus, along with Freeborn County Sheriff Kurt Freitag. Kurt, let's talk a little bit the process on permit to purchase. We talked in the last segment about permit to carry. Permit to purchase, how does that program work?
It's very similar to the permit to carry. However, there is no class, a mandatory firearm safety class. You don't have to take that. There is no fee that's associated with that. So you come to our lobby with your driver's license, and we'll make a copy of your license, give it back to you, and we'll give you an application for a permit to purchase, and you sit down and fill that out. And once you turn it into us, we'll build your packet with your criminal history, any DHS information. We'll check you in our in-house computer to see what kind of activity we've had with you. And again, if you're eligible to possess a firearm and nothing comes back disqualifying you, you'll get your permit to purchase. And I've got 7 days to make my decision whether or not, by statute, you're eligible or not eligible. So in a nutshell, that's how that works.
And so if I'm going to go buy a shotgun, for example, I want to go buy a hunting rifle, I'm going to need a permit to purchase. Otherwise, I'm not going to be allowed to just walk into a store and buy a firearm.
That's correct. You got to have that that permit with you, and they may do some additional checks with NICS, and I'm not involved in that. But once you are issued your permit to purchase, you can purchase whichever firearm that you want.
I was just wondering, Kurt, one last quick question. Mm-hmm. Is there any other information other than your criminal background that comes up when on a permit to purchase, such as maybe the individual's got some mental health issues, I should say?
Sometimes it does, and sometimes we're not aware of it.
Okay.
Someone may have issues with mental health.
Yep.
But this kind of goes back to us talking about if you see something, you hear something, and if it pertains to this topic, you got to let someone know, and I need to know that information. Because if somebody in the prudent person's mind believes that person is a risk if they have a firearm, I need to know that.
Okay.
They may be in possession of firearms already and not necessarily applying for a permit to purchase or a permit to carry. But if their behavior is such that it's scaring the neighbors, it's scaring people at school, they're talking about crimes of violence, things like that, once we find out about it, we can open an investigation, we can start an investigation, and there's different routes that can go. If someone clearly is showing some mental
Strange behavior,
or just flat out mental problems, we can take somebody on a 72-hour protective hold, and a lot can be done during that time. We can further a criminal investigation, we can go for a civil commitment, we can apply for a search warrant and seize any firearms that are in that person's house. And our goal is to disarm that person. So there's different avenues that we can take. It doesn't mean that in every case we're going to have the resolution that everybody would like to see. We might be short on probable cause or reason or things like that, but we can certainly try it. And like I said, our goal is to disarm that potentially dangerous person.
Great. Well, thank you, Kurt, for coming in this Saturday. Last week we had Rich Hall along with you from the Freeborn County Emergency Management Director, Rich Hall, and now this week we have you talking about this also, and I appreciate you coming in and doing this with us.
Yeah, thank you. I enjoy talking about it.
Yes.
That'll wrap up this Saturday edition of Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance here on Kate.
You've been listening to Insights into Insurance from Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is intended to be educational in nature. Before acting upon any information obtained during the Insights into Insurance radio show broadcast, consult an appropriately licensed professional.